Every year, 3 million of us head to the Greek islands for our holidays. And it's easy to see why.
This is Greece, and look at that.
I have a strong affinity with the islands. My mum is Greek. But I've only holidayed here. I've never really explored beyond the tourist trail.
Oh, I think I'm full.
Until now.
Yavas!
Every step of this journey has been a surprise. Wow! They say no one Greek island is like another, and so far, this trip is proving it.
Look, there's nobody here.
Hello, everybody!
But now I'm nearing the end of my travels. And I'm going well and truly off the beaten track.
I am going native.
To the island, some say is Greece's best-kept secret. This is a voyage of discovery, and I'm taking you with me. This island holds a lot of promise for me. Chios is just 30 minutes from Turkey in that direction on a ferry. And like so many of the Greek islands, even though it's not particularly well known, its history is tumultuous and colourful. It's an island of myth and mystery. Some people claim that Christopher Columbus was born here. Others speak of Chios as the birthplace of Homer. Whatever the truth, this rustic and rural island doesn't register on many tourist maps. And around 140 miles from mainland Greece, Chios is one of the most undiscovered and unspoiled of all the Greek islands. It's a significant place for me because this is where my ancestors are from. And for this leg of my journey, I've got a very special travel companion. Meet my Mama Moo, Chrissy Bradbury. Although her family name was Stephanakis. Chios is where her side of the family are from. I grew up hearing stories of this remote island far, far away. And now we're actually here. We finally made it to Chios, Mama Moo.
We finally made it to Chios, Jules. And it's a huge adventure. But every time I come to Greece, it's an adventure.
It's strange being here because this island is a part of us. It's a part of our family.
Absolutely. We stopped here on the way from, I think it was Santorini.
So I was with you?
Yes. You were tiny. You were either tiny or non-existent.
That's why I have been here, maybe.
You have been, just for an hour or two. Not long, not long.
And that's the only time you've been here?
The only time I've ever been. Yeah.
Gosh, what an adventure. This island is such a big part of our lives, and yet we know so little about it. So we're going to explore it together. And we're starting with the product Chios is most famous for, mastika. Chios is called the Mastic Island, an ancient aromatic resin that is the engine of the island's economy. The world's only commercial producer of mastic, it's exported to over 50 countries, and it's used in everything from food to medicine. Its story begins with an evergreen tree. Ilias and Maria from the Mastic Growers Association have brought us to the only place in the world where the mastika tree flourishes.
As you see, mastika actually is the sap. It's the sap of the tree, and actually it's the reaction of the tree in order to avoid infections from insects, from fungus, from bacteria. So when we make the incisions, the tree automatically produces mastika in order to cover the wound.
So the sap comes out, and that's what's harvested.
Exactly. We don't use it actually. In Chios, it's not very common to use mastika because 85–90% of the annual production is being exported mainly for pharmaceutical production. So we treat it like diamonds. You don't keep it, you sell it.
This rare resin is known as the tears of Chios. And the microclimate of southern Chios, with its dry, barren soil, is just perfect for this tree. So can I taste this?
Yes, but it's very soft and maybe you'll need a dentist after that.
I'll risk it. I'm going to have it now. I'll
trying to describe the flavour. It's a slightly minty flavour.
What is he throwing on the ground?
It is calcium carbonate, and we use it in order to keep masticha clean when it drops down to the surface of the tree.
How much mastica will you harvest off one tree, and how often can you harvest one tree?
The average quantity, let's say it's almost 150 to 200 grams.
But through the ages, the Chian growers choose very productive varieties.
Yes.
And this is the only varieties that now produces masticha. Otherwise, trees that you are able to find in the Mediterranean region produces only, let's say, 1 gram per year.
So that's such a difference. A mastica tree here in Chios producing 150, maybe 300 grams, and then 1 gram somewhere else in the
Exactly.
world. So it's the magic of Chios as well,
Exactly.
and how this plant has been cultivated over the years.
Exactly.
So you have the Monopoliopoulos on it.
The mastic tree has been grafted into the life of the islanders since ancient times. Today, some 4,500 people who live here are involved in its production. And most of them live in what are known as the mastic villages.
So apparently there are 24 mastic villages all over the island. All of those villages are reliant and thrive off the mastic trade.
Yes.
There's a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot.
As you walk through the streets, you feel as if you're in another time and place.
And
Listen how quiet it is.
yeah,
Listen. Shh. Nothing. Oh, look how pretty this is. Look at that.
oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Life goes on the way it has for hundreds of years. Whilst the men toil in the mastic fields, the women work hard in the village, sorting it.
Τώρα έχουμε 4 γενιές.
4 γενιές. Τα εγγόνια. Μπράβο.
Name me water.
So we're sitting with the ladies cleaning the mastic, but what annoys me is that my mum always says the reason she didn't teach me Greek is that she doesn't speak Greek very well. And yet we sit down here with the lovely ladies and her Greek is amazing.
I get by.
Okay, you get by. I'd like to be able to get by. Ευχαριστώ.
Συγκινημένη. Τι.
Τι είναι συγκεκριμένο?
At this stage, the mastica has been harvested from the trees, and as you can see, when it arrives into the village, it's got quite a lot of debris still.
During the winter time, ladies gather around on this square and they do this, talking and drinking and...
Τραγουδάνε.
The most famous of the mastic villages is Pyrgi, where buildings are covered in black and white sgraffito, a centuries-old technique where geometric patterns are etched into concrete.
Now, I thought they were tiles.
Yes, it looks like tiles, but it's not.
Not, it's painted in concrete.
It's plaster
And the concrete from
is-
underneath. I like that.
The level of detail in the design was a sign of the wealth of the owner of the house. And mastic has certainly brought a lot of privilege and prosperity to the island over the years. No wonder they say it's like diamonds.
So we've seen the trees, the sap, the mastica ladies. Let's go see what they turned it all into.
Apparently, mastic has over 150 different uses.
To you. Kalimera.
Thought to be the world's first chewing gum, it's long been a culinary staple in Turkey and the Middle East. And it's commonly used in beauty care and cosmetics. Marilena is going to show us the many faces of mastic.
Okay, face creams.
Yes, okay, we all love a good face cream.
Of course.
I'm loving that whitening and anti-wrinkle super sheet mask. I'm taking one of those.
It's really hydrating.
Yeah, that's lovely. Spicy garlic spread. Oh, doggy chocolate.
A doggy.
It's just dark chocolate.
I mean, I can see pasta over there and toothpaste over there.
There are the traditional mastica products.
Yes.
You know, there are the candies.
spoon.
The spoon.
The spoon in the glass.
Yes. We call it submarine because you take like a spoon of that.
Yeah.
You put it in a glass.
Yeah.
And you add some water.
The submarine is a classic Greek dessert, so called because it's submerged in the water.
Wow, okay. Mum, you try it, because this is what you used to do, yes, when you were little. So this was the equivalent of a lollipop.
Yes, but it was like the traditional dessert when someone arrived at your home and you would like to treat him something you haven't baked.
God forbid that anybody should arrive in your house in Greece and you don't offer them something. That's
Unacceptable.
unacceptable.
It is. That's what we've
Unacceptable,
been
yes.
Yes.
It's taken me back to my childhood, sitting in funny old parlours with all these Greek women sitting around and...
That's lovely.
Yeah. Chewy.
Okay, this is going to sound wrong, but imagine if you could eat toothpaste, but lovely, minty, herby sort of toothpaste. It's really nice.
Yes, it is.
And good for you.
The submarine isn't the only tradition we're going to sink our teeth into. The medieval town of Mesta beckons, and we'll need to get our dancing shoes on.
The Greek Islands with Julia Bradbury. Brought to you by TUI Tours. The Greek Islands with Julia Bradbury. Brought to you by TUI Tours.
I've reached the final destination of my Greek odyssey. The little-known island of Chios, home to my ancestral past. My mum and I have travelled to the south of the island, to the Mastic region, for a glimpse of the real Greece. Chios is one of the few Greek islands that's been untouched by mass tourism. So this island's culture and traditions are as pure and as unchanged as it gets. And I've been told that if I want to find the true Chios, the medieval village of Mesta is the place to head for. Local hotelier Anna has offered to show us around town.
Why is Mesta famous? Because it's not just for its beauty.
It's a castle village, close from outside, no cars, like it was 100 years ago.
Built to protect itself from foreign invaders and pirate attacks, Mesta, with its impenetrable stone walls and maze of cobbled streets, feels suspended in time.
So it's lovely and cool, Anna, in these passages, isn't it?
Look through this.
I know the
5 degrees different from outside.
Ah, so it's 5 degrees cooler.
Yes.
How many people live here now?
In winter, less than 300.
That's tiny.
Yeah, but in summer we are plenty.
So who lives here still?
Mostly old people.
The old yayas and
Yayas and papus, yeah.
Greece is among the top countries in terms of life expectancy, perhaps due to the Mediterranean diet and the warm, sunny climate. My yaya is 102. The neighbouring island of Ikaria is one of the 5 designated places in the world where people live the longest. A blue zone. Marianthe is 92 and still going strong.
Marianthe is going to sing us a song about mastika.
Δεν θέλω να δουλεύεις στο σκηνό να κεντά.
A lot of Greek women, like Marianthe, dress in black.
Αγαπούλα μου τα νιάτα σου να φας.
It's a custom here for widows in mourning to wear black, not just for one day, but often for the rest of their lives.
Κι εγώ θα σε πληρώνω βρε μικρούλα μου το κάθε Σαββατό.
Oh, bravo!
Bravo.
Bravo! Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Bravo. Tell me about the song. What did you understand?
That she doesn't want her daughter to work in the mastica fields because it's too hard.
Can you ask Marianthe how often do the ladies meet?
Every day. Every day. Καθημερινά.
The people of Mesta, young and old, regularly get together to sing and dance. Nothing has a more powerful presence in Greek culture than traditional dance, especially on the islands. Dance is an expression of their cultural identity and it's passed down from generation to generation. There are more than 10,000 traditional dances around the country, and every island has its own variation.
Oh gosh, no. It's going to be too hard.
We've been invited to join in one of the most popular dances of the island, the Chios.
Ah, go, Mama. Oh, thank you. Oh, what do I do? What?
Now it's time for me and my two left feet to have a go. The dancers link hands to form a chain or a circle, headed by a leader who I'm trying to follow.
Oh.
It's not as easy as it looks.
Oh, look at that, beautiful. Oh, I've lost it again.
Traditional dancing has always been my Achilles heel. Get it?
Now I feel Greek. How are you feeling, Mama? Oh, this is complicated. It's like dancing. It's like dancing with a sheep. I don't think I'm a natural. Tell you what, you need to be fit to do this Greek dancing thing. Oh, I'm out of breath. How are you doing, Mama Moo?
Well, I'm fine, but he wants to do another energetic dance with me, and I can't do it. I'll have a heart attack.
Let's not kill her. Oh, I've got so poli.
Now I'm feeling connected with the culture of Chios. There's one last place we have to explore. We're heading north to the town of Rondados. It's also known as Homeropolis because the legendary Greek writer Homer was believed to have been born here. The writer of the Odyssey, Old Homer, is one of the most famous poets in the world. And there's a solitary rock perched above Rondados beach where he supposedly sat and composed his work. It's been dubbed Homer's seat.
We're here.
We're here.
Oh, look, right amongst the pines. How lovely.
I tell you what, why don't we? 2 little seats.
There you go. How's that, comfy?
I'm slipping right down.
Is that... Do you need to come up? Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. There we go. Oh!
Now, you've heard of a Greek tragedy. Greek comedy, anyone?
How old was Homer? Right.
Wait a minute.
Get your feet
I've got
in
to get my
position.
feet in position.
I know, it's very slippy as well. Watch out.
Wait a minute now.
Get yourself in. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hop, 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 hop. Oh, gosh. There's a way to sit. You put a foot there.
Another foot there.
Another foot here. I don't think he probably did wear a skirt, and he probably did wear sandals like this. And he would sit here.
Lecturing.
Oh, I don't know, communicating.
Yes.
His words of love and wisdom about pride, and it's incredible, isn't it? It's so beautiful.
It is.
I never got to the end of Homer's Odyssey, but I've nearly reached the end of mine. Our final stop is a personal one.
We're here in Rondados. This is where
It all began.
it all began. So Anthony and...
Arietta.
Anthony and Arietta, my mother's grandparents, my great-grandparents, were born and raised here in the late 19th century. Anthony was a sailor and he married Arietta in Rondados in 1910. A year before they fled the Turkish occupation and emigrated to South Wales, where my mother was born 26 years later. Records state that when the couple married, they were gifted a house and a farm in a place called Mesovouni, somewhere here in Rondados.
So from the pictures you've seen, this is it?
Yes.
It's a hefty old chunk of property, Mama. Look at the size of it. It's huge. It's definitely a fixer-upper, isn't it?
Definitely a fixer-upper.
So as far as we know, this house was left to
her.
To your grandmother. And look, this is you. Look at your chubby little feet.
I was a chubby, happy baby.
She looks happy. Yeah, yeah.
She was lovely.
So what do you think of the house?
Well, I've got a vivid imagination, and I can see what it was like, because it's a very beautiful house, you know, a very large house in those days.
Well, it hasn't been lived in for a very, very long time, has it?
Very long time.
Look at it from here.
Imagine living in that. Wonderful.
On my travels, I've been trying to learn a bit of Greek to try and impress my mum. And I think now is the moment.
Mama μου, ευχαριστώ για τις ελληνικά καταγωγή μου. Είμαι περήφανη για τις ρίζες μας. Τα ελληνικά είναι μια δύσκολη γλώσσα.
Πολύ δύσκολη γλώσσα και εγώ δεν το θυμάμαι καλά, αλλά σ' αγαπώ.
Σ' αγαπώ.
Σ' αγαπώ. She said, I love you. He cried. Thank you, Yaya. Thank you, Papu.
I'm feeling much more Greek. It's been a lovely adventure, hasn't it?
It's been a great adventure.
Finding my ancestral home is a fitting finale to my Greek voyage. I've learnt so much about the islands, their culture, their history, and my own. Addio, Greek islands. Ta ξαναγυρίσω. And before I do, I think I better book myself some Greek lessons.
The Greek Islands with Julia Bradbury, brought to you by TUI Tours.